Well, hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here. It is October 30th. We have a patch today. We have the final week of the Festival of the Lost. We have some Gambit, Infamy being easier to acquire, and just quite a bit going on. So, without too much further ado, let's jump into the basics on the weekly reset, and then we'll get into the fun details a little bit later. First thing is first for you guys, you know your standard powerful gear. First, we're going to jump right into the Vanguard. We've got daily heroic story missions, so your modifiers for daily heroics, your heroic adventures, and then also your strikes are going to be Solar Singe all week. So enjoy your big powerful weapons, those will do well, Sleeper, Whisper, all that good stuff. If you're looking to use those specifically, it is going to be a benefit for both Wednesday and Saturday, or you're going to get the big benefits out of Heavy. You're going to have Brawler 3 times, it's going to be Tuesday, Friday, and Monday, and then of course Grenadier will be Thursday and Sunday. So, those will be your rotation, but it always goes, you know, if this week it's going to go Brawler, Heavyweight, Grenadier, Brawler, Heavyweight, Grenadier, Brawler. So, some of you guys, if you're running Brawler and you have the Hunter subclass with the throwing knives, apparently that's insanely lethal, so enjoy that one if you guys have that subclass. It's a pretty good way to run. For your strikes, make sure you guys hit the dailies. Those are pretty easy. If you're looking to complete your subclass with the same light element, make sure you just check what other people are running when you jump in there. That'll save you a little bit of heartache when you get to the end and you see that checkbox did not actually happen. For your Nightfalls this week, we've got a couple repeats. So we've got the Arms Dealer. I did do a solo guide on that one. I'll put that one at the end of the video. And the Hollowed Lair. Got a solo guide on that one, and most people want this one because it drops the Mindbender's Ambition Shotgun. There is a curated roll of that, which I hear is actually fairly good, so that one's definitely worthwhile. The Arms Dealer, your exclusive, is going to be a Sparrow. It's called Tilt Fuse, nothing amazing. And then the Corrupted is actually the one where you actually fight the Taken. It's a really cool looking mission, but it's when you fight the Taken Techian at the end. And this one is actually going to drop an auto rifle, so I forget the name of that offhand. I'll try and, you know, put it down in the description below or something along those lines. But I think the big one most people are going to be grinding is Hollowed Lair, and I do have a solo guide up for that one. May try and just run that one again as well, just to get maybe a cleaner run, quicker run, something like that. Help you guys out with that one. But Corrupted would be the new one for this week, so I'll see about getting a Nightfall solo up for that as well. Those will come later, of course. Gambit is going to be kind of a big deal this week because your Infamy is going to come quicker. As you guys are grinding for Infamy resets, as many as you can, depending on what you're going for, the Dredge Untitled and such. It is going to be 2 times Infamy, basically starting now. So starting at reset, it's going to be 2 times Infamy, all the way up until Xur comes on Friday at daily reset. At that point, until we get to about November, what is it, 2nd, I think, or 6th? November 6th, it is. It's going to be triple Infamy over the weekend. Now, this week, they did patch things, so the Meatball boss is going to be spawning somewhat more frequently. Next week is going to be the most frequent that it comes in, but they did boost the spawn rate for that boss. So you should see it more frequently if you're looking to kick off your Malfeasance. I've been kind of torn between this and Red Dead and a couple other things, so I haven't really jumped into my Malfeasance quest. I did get it to get started, I just haven't jumped into actually working on it. And they are actually buffing that gun a little bit, so hopefully it's a little more viable. So multiple reasons to work on getting that gun. For Crucible this week, we've got good old Quick Play Rumble. Breakthrough is back, so maybe they just have it here in the Quick Play list because they want to test that out again. This is meant to generally be in the competitive playlist, but they had some changes. It's back in your weekly, so jump in there, see if those feel a little bit better. I'm still not sold by what I'm reading, but maybe playing it's going to feel a little bit different. In theory, this gameplay could work, but there's also many ways that people tend to break this thing, so I guess we'll see if it got a little bit better. If you guys are working on your Luna's Howl or Redrick's Claymore, those are definitely in the works, or Broadsword, I should say. Your flashpoint this week is going to be on Nessus, so whether you're looking for your heroic adventures, your flashpoint from public events, things like that, Lost Sectors, public events, and heroic adventures all work. My recommendation, because you have your daily heroic adventure to do your daily heroic adventure. See if you got somewhere like, say, here, you have Artifact's Edge. So you have that one getting ready to start in 4 minutes. Go there, knock out the Lost Sector, pop back out, this thing will just about be ready, and you'll probably be over halfway done. Do that once or twice, and you'll be pretty much good to go. So flashpoints go a little quicker with options now, so that is honestly pretty nice. I think Lost Sectors are about 10%. Public events, it seems to vary where you are at and what they're worth, but roughly 25%. I've seen difference. And it feels like your first heroic adventure, especially if it's for a challenge, may count for even a little more than 25, maybe 35%. I feel like the numbers vary, but, you know, do a few of those, you'll knock it out fairly quickly if you're working on that powerful gear. And even if you're almost up to 600, just having more stuff to either infuse in something you like, or just having more options at 600 is just going to still benefit you. So, not totally done with the grind quite yet. Got a couple things to cover at the Tangled Shore, more than normal, but let's step into the Traveler and see a couple pieces we've got to talk about here. Alright, Guardians, so we are in the last week of the Festival of the Lost, so definitely make note of getting what you can. Prismatic Matrix is here. If you've got your 3 to work on, you know, if you're looking for anything specific, you may turn these in. I've got 4 options. I can probably get another facet, so that's not a bad thing either. So exotics are usually what I tend to cover. So we've got the Hecuba S. This is from Forsaken. It's got that weird little like circular tube on the back. We've got the Cold Heart ornament. Gives a little cleaner look. I actually like this one a little more personally, but that's just me. Iridescent Death for the Crimson. Kind of gives it that, as they say, iridescent. That's exactly the word I was going to use, so taken out of my mouth. The Linear Fusion Dance. I'm not sure why this has specifically caused that, but, you know, if you guys know where that's from, definitely call it out. You got the Bad Omens actual ornament. Gives a little fancier look for your Gambit gear. Ship Sparrow, your Vanguard projection, and of course the... What is that? What is that? It's a bird. It's a plane. Whatever it is. But those are your prismatic pieces. For the Festival of the Lost purchases, we've got the Heroic Guitarist. If you do want to strum out, go ahead and pick that one up. If you got the Bright Dust to spend on it and you want it, that's your definitely thing to go for. The Aerial Shroud, kind of an odd ship. It looks like a normal ship that drove through a paper bag with some purple on it. Not really my favorite, but if you want it, that's up to you. Got a Sparrow. We do have your 9 lives shell. So you're going to have your Banshee's favorite, you know, elemental kills at an increased rate, so any element works. You've got your Vanguard scanner during faction, you know, faction consumables and strikes, faction consumables and Crucible. It's actually a pretty general use one all the time, so it's not a horrible one to pick up. Just strikes, Crucible tokens, those are going to be coming quicker, and also just gunsmith materials. If we ever find a use for those, I will be happy. Projections, if you want to get those, you've got a couple pieces of armor, the Colonel Mask, and then your spooky shaders. I don't think these change much. Your Pride Glasses is still here for Fighting Lion. We've got your Misbehaving Dance if you want this one. This is your one from It, in case you're wondering. Very creepy, but very accurate. And then your Ephemeral Bundle if you want some more of these Ephemeral Engrams. Finally, we've got the Cranking Dance. So you got the good old lawnmower action. Little glitch there. Rev it up. It's just going to be, go ahead and step on that bike and rev things up. You have your Ridiculous Ravager's Ride. I have this one. It feels like a tank, but it is quite the Sparrow. Another Sparrow. You've got your Unfinal Shapes. This is a very hive-centric ship. Even lore is in there if you want to read it. You can definitely jump in and check that out. A couple ships, ghosts, and sparrows. You've got the Chaperone ornament, which I'll give you a quick explanation of why it's worth picking up now. And you've got the main ingredient ornament as well. So, other than that, pretty basic stuff. Don't forget to pick up your Rise to the Challenge bounty. Pick that thing up. Keep getting your prismatic facets. And also, just, you know, these Eververse notes. Get your Bright Dust. Continue to acquire that. Let's go talk to Holiday and see what she's got to talk about. Alright, Guardians, quick thing. The only reason I'm showing Chaperone on screen is because any exotic that comes from a quest is no longer in your loot pool. You're not going to get an exotic engram and see an Ace of Spades come from it anymore. So anything that comes from a quest, Malfeasance, Ace of Spades, Chaperone, anything like that is no longer going to be in your loot pool, so you won't get duplicates of things that are pretty much taken care of. So it takes one less thing out of the exotic loot pool. There's some other exotic changes where they weighted things you don't have to have a higher chance to drop. If you do get a duplicate exotic, it is a better chance to be a piece of armor, because those have random rolls. So decent changes to exotics. I don't think they really upped the drop rate themselves, but the ones that drop hopefully will help you complete your collection a little bit quicker, avoiding some duplication. Hopefully. We'll see if that actually holds true. The other piece is we've got a new quest over here at Amanda Holiday. This is going to be your Murder Mystery quest. I haven't jumped into this thing too far, so I will go ahead and kind of keep this separate. But for now, we're just going to kick it off. The Lost Cryptarch, we got the Journal of the Reef Cryptarch. Go ahead and work your way through that one, and that's going to help you guys progress towards that quest. I don't know what comes from there. I've seen some other speculation. We think we know what comes from there, but until I know for sure, I'll let you guys know and progress through that one. But if you're working on Festival bounties, masks, this is your last week to do it, so if you need to go grind the Haunted Forest a lot, well, it's time to do that. Also time to work on getting your horror story if you have not picked that up yet as well. Other than that, let's go jump over to the Tangled Shore and see what these changes have to offer. One quick mention that I almost did forget, guys. If you are working on Escalation Protocol, the boss this week drops just the shotgun. So if you are working on still adding that to your collection, it is a good week to grind it out because that shotgun's still one of the best. So if you haven't got the shotgun yet, that is the only thing the boss drops, so a good week to go for it. And I don't think it's too terrible of a fight. I remember grinding before it too. It's not too bad. Alright, so we are here at Spider. A couple of reminders. Make sure you guys are working on your now enhancement cores. They have changed in name, so they're no longer masterwork cores. They are your enhancement cores, apparently used for both infusion and still masterworking. Kind of torn if I still am what my thoughts on that are. Still don't think they need to be part of infusion, but that's just my opinion. But they should be easier to get. Still can probably buy one or two if you have a lot of shards left over. If you don't, maybe just one. But now up here in the wanted bounties, you're going to have 6 of them that will give you a chance to get enhancement cores. So you still have your powerful gear from your, corner one over here. This one's going to be Gravetide Summoner. You guys can look for either at a previous video, which I'll link up here, or maybe I'll work on a separate one for you guys. But also we have these. Arcane Mind, Hiraka's Familiar, Erexis Partisan, the Fortifier Yon, and Kalzar the Scarred Captain, and Panduk Pillar of Nothing. So all 6 of those will give you an enhancement core. So you're going to have to do a little bit of grinding for the ghost fragments. Those come from anything like public events and patrols. Those are the 2 main sources of those. So if you find a good sequence for public events or patrols, either one in this area, those are going to be worth grinding for. So if you need some enhancement cores, this is a good thing to do. Also, don't forget for enhancement cores, your weekly bounty of the Festival of the Lost will give you 7. So definitely work on grinding that thing out as well. But you do have a place to work on some. It's not a ton. The other place you actually can get those from now won't be on old ones. Actually, it is, apparently. I have scrapper bounties that I've actually saved and had not turned in. I did not think that would work, but, I have a whole bunch of bounties to turn in. I'll explain that in a completely separate video. But the scrapper bounties will now be giving enhancement cores. So anytime you break something down, you get one of these. They usually have about a 24-hour time to last. You're probably going to want to see what the objective is and definitely knock it out real quick, so you can get these enhancement cores. So both scrapper bounties and these wanted bounties are going to be worthwhile for your grind for these cores. But other than that, make sure you're never maxed out on Glimmer. Buy something with it. And if you're looking for easy bounties to do, remember the Tangled Shore. Defeat 50 enemies, defeat 35 Fallen Cabal. They're pretty easy bounties, some of these. If you're looking for the Ikora 20 bounties, there's always a few of these that are cake at the Spider. Finally, let us go to the Dreaming City and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for hanging with me on this one, but there's just a lot to cover this week. Alright, Guardians, we finally wrap up here with Petra. So we're going to have the Oracle Engine mission. We're going to have the daily bounties that you need to do, your Ascendant Challenge, and also your Gateway Between Worlds. One thing to make note of, if you guys are looking for a guide on the Oracle Engine, I've actually got one up where I ran the mission and actually did the triumphs for you guys as well. So if you want to check that one out, I'll have a card up here and probably a link to it in the description, maybe somewhere at the end as well. But a couple places if you need to see a guide to solo the Oracle Engine, find all your triumphs and stuff like that, I've got that piece done as well. Other than that, make sure you guys are knocking out your daily bounties. Get your powerful gear from her, usually fairly easy. Do your daily bounties, do your Ascendant Challenge, and you should be good to go. But I think that will wrap it up this week. We'll see what the quest from Amanda Holiday has to offer. It's talking about journal pages, so we're going to have to acquire those, see what the next steps are. But other than that, you've got your final week of Festival of the Lost. If you want to get any masks, your horror story, this is your time to do that. You've got Gambit, which is going to be a great thing to grind all week. So if you've got downtime, spend some time in there, get your infamy up. It's not the easiest thing to grind. It is a pretty long grind because those matches can go long. So take advantage of the extra Gambit infamy and spend as much time in there as you can. But other than that, I think this is probably long enough where it's at. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tried to cover as much as I could, but we've got a lot this week. I'll be working on some solo guides for you on a couple of videos as we go throughout the week. A couple more coming today for sure. So look for those, and thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the support as we keep growing towards 25,000. That's going to be a pretty cool milestone for me. Quarter of the way there to 100,000 is not that far, and you guys keep the support going, which is awesome. So thank you very much. You guys can follow me me on Twitch, on Twitter. I've been dabbling a little bit in Red Dead Redemption 2, so I've been streaming that until I figure out how I'm going to get those on YouTube, whether curated or uncut. And then other than that, you guys can follow me right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment below if you want to say hey or have a question. And other than that, have an awesome day, an awesome week, and I will see you all soon in whatever video comes to my channel next. Have a good one. Enjoy. Talk to you later.